sound. No sound.
All right, there we go. Sound's back.
Hello? Oh, I'm playing the stream out loud. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Pulled a Torey Jones. Ended the stream.
Pulled a me.
So it wasn't quite 4 minutes, but the last 6+ minutes we scored 7 points.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a lull like that. That's not as bad as most of our lulls, though. That's pretty good for...
What is Kobe
over
doing?
half a
What is
quarter,
Kobe
7
wearing?
points.
And what is he doing?
It happens too much to give Chauncey a pass, bro.
Gabe decided to hit too many buttons and you know,
Can't
stream.
cook.
I tried to be a YouTuber.
Elizabeth Allen will have our Postgame over on Blazers up right if we win the
Fix the cameras.
They lost the lead and they were behind. This is the most important possession.
All right, who do you go to here?
8 seconds of tremendous defense. And everybody has to go to the glass.
Ayton.
Post up Ayton.
Post Ayton, yeah, great.
Brogdon or Grant, so you have to go to, right?
Have Ayton
Yeah.
set, are they going to do that stupid play where they throw it at the Jeremy?
No, good set.
Good set. I don't like this. Good defense. Woo! Good shot by Simons.
That's who you go to, the freaking
Grown
young
man
star, bro. Let's go.
Grown man play right there.
Remember that was reminiscent of that shot he hit against McHale?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
quite a hook shotty, but...
Dude, his floater, like, hook shot game is so insane for a guard. Like, he's sideways on a step. That's a step back floater from 15 feet. Who does that?
Ant does that.
That's kind of a crazy shot, man.
Yeah, that fourth camera setup, Sundo, gone. Disappeared. Whole bunch of things reshaped and resized themselves.
I gotta take Gabe back to school.
I mean, it's the second time this has happened, too, which is funny.
Because obviously it didn't save on.
They're going to offer you the quick two. With the confidence, hopefully it can go to the line.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You probably... Do you have Photoshop open when you stream?
No.
Okay. I've been telling you to clean up your setup though and put it in different scene collections.
Yeah,
Have
I'm
you done
definitely
that?
gonna have. No, I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Yeah, because if you got a bunch of stuff, I mean, like our picks segments, we got a ton of stuff. Just depends on your computer, I guess.
Elizabeth Allen says we need an Eric curse word since we aren't on BU. What the fuck do you mean? I've been cursing this whole stream.
Yeah, I've been cursing.
Whoa.
I'm taking my.
Whoa!
Fuck that shit.
There we go,
Whoa! What did you do,
bro. It's in shambles.
It's just
the stream
just mixing everything up,
It's
bro.
in
What's
shambles.
happening? Oh my gosh, bro. It's over with. It's over.
Just in time. Just in time.
Just in time for this possession. We got inbound to KD. Shoots over Brogdon from 3. Off. Nurk. Rebound. Kick. Grayson Allen for 3. Airball.
Game.
GG's. The Blazers finally win a freaking game.
Blazers get their first win of December.
Right.
Yeah, you guys got problems. I've been preaching
said
patience, but oh
Ben
my
said
goodness.
that. Ben said that, dude. It's not good.
I've been trying to stay positive on y'all because you got dudes.
It's not
but
good, dude. It's not.
We ain't there.
There's a disconnect. There's coaching problems. I don't know what it is. I just think the team's too lax. I think it's a culture issue by players, in my opinion. Like, I just think the team's too lax. Oh, don't worry, we'll get it together. There's no urgency on this team whatsoever.
Do you miss Chris Paul's leadership?
We miss his
Possibly.
point guarding. I know that.
Okay, let me ask you this, Tor, because Gabe says no. He said no, but I asked, I said, if you can look, like, go back in the past and looking into the future, knowing that we were going to end up trading Ayton anyway, would you have rather have kept Chris Paul? That was my question to him, and Gabe said no. Much rather would not have, but I disagree.
I mean,
Just a little bit.
you need Book and KD to step up and lead this team. Like, they should. KD's been around a while. He has the respect of anyone he ever suits up with. Like, I don't know. It's just this ain't acceptable. But it's just the defense. Like, if that's your scheme, then
it really is, dude.
You guys got to switch it up, because what type of scheme helps from ball side when there's one guy on that side of the court? Like, you guys kept giving up just the easy extra little pass down to the corner for open corner threes. That's the best three to shoot.
Time.
The Blazers went through this like 2007 to 2010. Brandon Roy was our main ball handler, and people said just make him the point guard or whatever. But whenever he played point guard full time, like, it worked for stretches and it worked for some time. But a good player like that, it's just hard to continually break down the defense if you're not a true point guard every single game. And I think that's going to be where this roster messed up, is not having that true ball handler, whether that's Chris Paul or someone else. Just someone who can run the offense and get those guys going more off ball instead of always having to create something out of every possession.
Like, if you told me at one point, like I said, going back, if we would have kept CP3 and then we would have just had Nurkic, I think I would have been ecstatic with that. But I don't know. I just feel like trading CP3 was a mistake at this point, and I'll say it. That's just me.
It's tough, man. I mean, obviously, like, sitting here with perfect vision of the situation, you can definitely say that we could use Chris Paul, but I still don't believe Chris Paul is going to be healthy come time for the playoffs, or in the playoffs he'll get hurt or whatever. Like, you might as well learn how to play without him, evolve Book's game by having him run more point guard, have him run the,
Could be.
I mean,
Well, you guys got to trade for a point guard, though, because when stuff starts to stagnate like it did in the fourth quarter, you need a guy that you can rely on to shoot the ball, to play off Book, to play off KD, but also to run the offense. The problem is you only got the former. You don't got the latter. You only got guys that play off those guys and shoot. That's Grayson Allen. That's Eric Gordon, right? You don't got anybody that can come in and actually run it for them and get those guys moving off the ball, because basically the defense is just loaded up on Booker, on KD. You got to get those guys into opportunities where the defense isn't loaded up on them. You need a point guard to run the show. Unfortunately, like, not having Beal, like, maybe he could have been that guy, but he's a combo guard. I don't know if he's the right guy for that. You probably want another guy on top of that. I think having Beal back would help a little bit, but he's a scorer at heart, even though his passing's gotten better. So it's just going to come down to Vogel needs to get his head out of his ass, and then you guys need a point guard.
I wonder what would have happened if you didn't make that Chris Paul trade and we had Drew Holiday. Because you guys would have been able to give a pretty nice package for Drew Holiday. I don't know if it would have beaten the Suns package or not, but you had all those firsts you could have traded. Right?
like using Chris Paul to give
give
to
them all up
you?
No, you didn't have any firsts for Beal, right? Or
No, yeah.
No.
Oh,
they got Beal for like next to nothing. Remember? Because
we traded Sham at CP3 and a second round pick.
A couple second round picks. But yeah, that's why to me the Beal trade still remains the right choice. It's just tough to sit here and say that when he's never healthy. But
you weren't getting anything close to as good as Beal with what you gave up for Beal. It was just the no trade clause. It was a perfect situation, so it makes sense. But that's where it's like you gotta fill out depth at the point guard spot. You got to be able to pivot towards a guy that can run the show. Right now, you don't have that luxury. So in the fourth, you get super stagnant, and then also like it's that plus the defense, because that defense was some of the worst defense I've seen the Blazers go up against in a second half in a long time. Like we got so many open shots, it was weird. And we don't move the ball like that.
Yeah.
And Gabe, go ahead and look at that third quarter box score. It is on brand. The Blazers got their biggest scoring output, and we literally only put up 20. So they literally, once again, a third quarter collapse. They scored 38, and we only put up 20.
That says you're coming out of the halftime locker room not prepared to
38 to 20 is wild.
That's kind of a bad reflection on Vogel.
Yep.
He has to do better. I mean, if you guys get healthier, I know you won't have Beal for a couple weeks, but like he's kind of had the excuse of injuries. I wonder, especially with Ishbia willing to shell out however much money he's already paying this payroll or this roster a ton, like he'd probably be willing to eat Vogel's contract if he felt like it. I just wonder at what point does ownership take a look at Vogel as being a problem and not doing what they expected.
Bottom line, the players aren't listening. I'm sure everywhere he's been, he's had a top 5 defense. I'm sure what he's telling them is schematically correct. I doubt they're listening and enacting what he's telling them to do. Maybe it's like Ayton, Eric. Maybe it's like we were talking about Ayton. Maybe they all just have such bad IQ that they're all just constantly fucking it up.
I think you're also really missing Okogie because he's your best perimeter defender as well. So
that's true.
That hurts when he's out.
But good luck telling Suns fans, we'll be okay. We just need Okogie. They will eat us alive.
Well, I mean, like I talked about, you guys basically sacrifice depth for top-end talent, which is weird considering over the last few years it seems like the teams who have done that haven't done as well as the deeper teams or the more well-rounded teams. But when you're missing one of your big 3 and your best defender, I mean, that's tough to make up for when you went in on having such top-end talent. When you're missing one of them, it just makes it tough.
Yeah, and this isn't like an I told you so or like rubbing it in or anything.
Feels like you're setting me up for an I told you so. Go on.
Well, Tamani Kamara would have helped you guys a lot defensively. Like he's been our most well-rounded defender this year. And he's been impressive for a rookie, man. Like his shooting percentages don't look great, but he does the little things. He'll go get a hustle board. He'll make the right cut. He started to finally hit shots. But he plays defense. He's smart. He recognizes things quickly. He can test shots well. Like he's the type of guy where, I mean, did you guys really have to throw him into the Ayton trade? Like you couldn't have figured out another way to do it. I think losing out on that, but I mean, maybe Cronin was just like, we have to get back Kamara, and in that case, good move by him.
Our GM is not goated by any stretch, bro. He's made some of the worst decisions you can think. Well, no, because he didn't pick Ayton over Luka. That was McDonough's final blow
but he
to
did
the
draft
franchise.
Sticks and like he got.
But he
lucky
did
on
take
Cam
Sticks
Johnson.
over Halliburton.
But he got lucky on Cam Johnson. We gave him a pass on that, and we also gave him. We also praised him because he traded for CP3. Like that's really what it came down to at that time. CP3 and Cam Johnson looked good, even though we thought he reached. Cam Johnson panned out, so it was like, oh, maybe James Jones knows what he's doing, but. After that, the sticks drafting, the debacle on that move, keeping him and letting him go, the way after that, it's been all bad for James Jones.
Yeah,
that's just
one. So
more,
I mean, he's gonna have to.
I was just saying that's one more sign pointing that Joe Cronin is a Chad that you need to respect, Torey.
Hey. That's my favorite thing he's ever done was get Tamani Kamara back in that trade.
Also,
I said that during that trade too.
Also, let's just think this, Gabe. Like the fact that he was willing to trade Tamani Kamara is also a detriment to James Jones because he doesn't like young talent.
True.
He finally had a good steal of a draft pick, and he traded him away before he ever got away
for veteran talent. So that's another thing. Like James Jones doesn't want to develop young guys. He just doesn't.
Right. I told you, Gabe, Tamani was perfect for the Suns because they need those kind of role players with that lineup. Yeah.
And they did it. They got him with like next to no chances to get it right.
Yeah.
You only have like a couple of tries here to do that sort of thing. You're picking so deep in the draft already. Your likelihood of hitting is so small, and you wasted a hit. But I don't think in the end, if we could do this over again, and you told me that we were going to get Nurkic for Ayton's contract and get to have Nurkic for half the money, And then we were going to get Grayson Allen, who's been an absolute dog for us. I mean, only 5 for 10 tonight. No one from the Suns shot well from 3, but he normally does. And Nas, dude, we've gotten a really good version of Nas this season. I mean, he's starting,
Somewhat,
and
yes.
he's earned starting.
I mean, but defensively, like, off
I would
the
still
ball,
do it.
Defensively off the ball, that's always been Nas's problem. He's just a mess off the ball. Makes a bunch of mistakes, and it's like watching your off-ball defense. Like, I don't know who's at fault, but it's like he's the type of guy that contributes to how many shooters you leave wide open. I know I saw something about a recent game where like he was making a lot of mistakes and KD was getting on him. I mean, the rest of that trade, I still think you absolutely make. Even with Kamara in it, I still think it's okay. It's just like that's the type of player that you need. That's
We would have trade R-worded you if we didn't give you Kamara.
Yeah,
that would have been trade R-word. So
I mean, because I'm sitting here, Gabe. Like, man, if we want to get off Ayton, we're gonna have to attach a first-round pick just to get off his contract.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing when it was like, oh, you get Ayton for the 3rd pick, Ayton for the 5th pick, and like all this stuff. It was like, no, he's not. He is not good. I'm so far out on him already. Like, his mindset drives me insane. He's so athletically gifted, so big, and plays so freaking finesse. It's like Nurk tries to go to the rim a lot of times. He is not athletically gifted, and sometimes it looks really bad, and it started to drive Blazer fans crazy. But it's like I'd rather the dude try and attack than have all the athletic gifts in the world and not use them just so we can shoot mid-range fadeaways on smaller players. Like, that stuff is insane to me. And it's like he's so finesse, but he won't even shoot threes either.
I need you guys to handle code for me because this is I don't even wanna.
What do you say? This is our last thing before we head out.
Oh, but you're gonna want to answer it. Gabe, I disagree. If the Blazers were that high on Ayton, and Code, I'm not trying to pick on you. It's just you're not the first person to comment this. This is just an amalgamation of things. All right. So, if the Blazers were that high on Ayton, who's to say we couldn't have traded for Lillard? This isn't
a joke.
No, it's a dead serious comment, and that's like the 3rd time I've seen it from someone else.
Bro, we traded you guys Yusuf Nurkic and Nasir Little for Ayton, and we got Kamara back. So that doesn't say we were that high on Ayton. Like it seems like we demanded to get Kamara back when we're just trading you Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic. That is so far away from Damian Lillard. Like,
where were the three firsts coming from? We got
yeah.
Yeah, the thing was that the trade wasn't dependent on a Lillard trade. So whether Lillard was part of the deal or not, the Blazers still had the framework of a trade in place with the Suns for months before it happened.
Yeah, we got back like 3 firsts, Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams III for Dame, basically. Like, no, we weren't taking Ayton over that, especially when we could get him for Nurk and Nas.
I do wonder though if they said they didn't want Nurk and they demand, like, I don't know who would be the center right now, but if they would have said, we're not giving you Ayton unless you give us Drew in that trade, do the Blazers think that's enough value? And then what did the Suns do at center?
I don't like Cronin, but I don't think he's doing that.
Because you recognize he's a Chad. Even Sundo threw his head back to that one.
I have no comments for you, Gabe. I have no words.
Sundo, that ghost didn't hit you one bit.
Me, I'm still awake.
Barely.
Still awake.
Barely.
I would be asleep by now under normal circumstances.
You're only awake because we got all this handsome man meat on the screen.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're denying that, Sundo?
Yeah, it was very disrespectful of our guests, Sundo.
Jeez, man.
Denying it wholeheartedly.
After all I've done for this man, I'm hurt.
Wholeheartedly.
So-
Time for me to go.
He said, "Man, me."
So are you ready to go?
I got a shower and shit.
Oh boy, go for it then, Eric.
I'm making my graphics now. I'll leave Eric with you all.
I just
and
wanted
then
to hear
I'll
what
go
you guys
very
think
well.
about one more time about Vogel, because this is a budding thing for us.
Yeah. I'll let Eric speak.
Okay.
On that.
Okay. Go for that.
I feel like he has enough of a track record to show that he'll figure it out and he'll get, like, I don't know, maybe he's just having trouble fitting the personnel to his style, but he's had several different teams that he's coached to good defenses, different types of personnel and stuff. Obviously, you guys don't have like an Anthony Davis type forward that can switch on to guards and stuff and defend the rim. But I do think he'll kind of figure out the defensive part. The rest of it, I don't know, because I mean, he's not the greatest coach, like in terms of managing the team, managing minutes, offensive schemes, and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I mean, he had some teams that didn't have the greatest defensive talent and competed their butts off and made a way to figure it out to become respectable. So I don't know if that's necessarily the problem is coaching as much as it's just, I mean, you guys need your players to be healthy and playing in the game. I know that's not what people want to hear, but
I'm open to interpretation, because I don't know, like Sundo, you on the Fire Frank train?
No, because it's just like one, like who you gonna get, who you gonna replace him with. You're so far in the season, it almost feels like you're hitting the panic button way too soon.
You've got Coach Kevin B. What are you talking about? Highest paid assistant in the NBA.
Fizdale, you know what I'm saying?
Or Fizzy
No.
Boy.
But no, I'm not on the fire Frank, bro. Just not, because I mean, yeah, he's the head coach, but he's also got a whole other coaching staff helping him out. So I'm not gonna put it all on him. There's three heads there, I would say, putting this whole thing together. So I mean, it could be on personnel. You know, maybe I just don't know. Honestly, I can't give you an answer on that. But I'm not on the Fire Frank wagon yet. It seems like it's too soon. It makes no sense. Why would you do that?
Torey or Eric?
All right, Joe.
Later, Torey.
Yes. Well,
One
what's
last
your
thing.
question?
Okay,
I'll see if I want to answer it.
I've also heard several people, not just Mr. Nasty One, saying D'Antoni. Do you think that the D'Antoni relationship
He's
was
going to fix your defense?
No, of course not. I don't even need to hear it from anyone to know what the thought process. The thought process is we can't play defense anyways. We'll just go back to what we know, which is trying to bludgeon you to
Won't win a
death
championship.
with
No.
offense.
No, won't win a championship.
I'm not saying
there
do
are
you
other
think
teams-
it'll win the championship. I'm saying well, my question is, do you think
That
that
should be the
there's yeah, and so for that it shouldn't happen. But do you think that out of desperation, because we are talking hypothetically about changing a coach, and if it's not going to be Coach Kevin B, and it's not going to be Coach I'm dating a baddie, then D'Antoni, is his relationship, do you think, too broken with Durant to even be a conversation? Because remember they had a whole thing in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the relationship, but I just think that's not a guy to go after regardless. So I wouldn't even worry about him. Like, he's not an answer. He's not going to fix your defense. You guys got to defend better than this to have a chance to win the championship. You guys can score, but there's other teams that can score with you.
Well, we refuse to
So,
do
like-
that. So now what could you suggest?
Trading Katie,
we
trading
won't
Bucks,
be
trading
playing
Beal,
defense.
trading
Okay.
everyone,
Okay.
and we'll see you in the lottery. Then I don't know.
no, they won't see him in the lottery because they don't have their picks.
Tankathon said they had their pick.
No, I doubt
this
it.
year
I can't
Is it a
imagine.
swap?
I can't imagine
with
we own
Did
it.
they swap
Brooklyn.
this? No, not with
I don't
Brooklyn. I
know.
think they
I don't
swapped it
know.
when they made all those other trades
Yeah, I got to run. I don't know.
All right, man.
later.
Good streaming with y'all.
Burner would like a shower cam.
Yeah, no, we don't play like that. Burner.
All right, sorry, Burner. I tried.
We don't.
I always
play
try
that
to help
at
him
Blazers
out.
Up Press. Yeah, no. With that, I'm out of here.
All right, man. If you want to get ready for it, Eric, I don't blame you. We can sit here and wallow.
I mean, if I'm not doing anything, I'm all ready for the next.
Yeah, you
show.
probably just gotta wait for him.
Yeah.
Sundo, a little synopsis, maybe.
Oh.
Man, I mean, it's just more of the same, bro. That's been haunting us, bro. Really, it comes down to Booker and KD drop, monster numbers.
Is that hater directed at Torey in chat?
Probably.
We got a Torey hater.
Go run with your shitty opinion.
I like how he waited until Torey was gone to say that.
That's wild. Anyway, no, man, it's just more of the same. Kevin Durant, Booker put up monster numbers. We lose the game because we can't play defense. But really, it's what code. But really, what comes down to is what code said, bro. The numbers are similar, but live by the 3, die by the 3. They shot 50%, we shot 21, and that's literally the difference. Literally the difference in the game, because we shot similar percentage, from the floor. Period. We got more shots than they did. So, live by the 3, die by the 3.
Gabe, you play basketball, so you know this. When you have two guys that shoot a lot without passing, or like that possession with Book where he holds the ball on the side of the court for like 10 seconds before he does anything and doesn't pass.
Westbrook.
It gets frustrating, just like, because even if you just pass the ball around the perimeter and give it back to the guy so he can ISO at the end, at least you feel like you touch the ball and you're contributing to the offense or something. But when you go down like 4 or 5 possessions in a row and you'd have no chance of seeing the ball, and then on that 6th possession you finally get it, and it's like you're not in rhythm, you don't feel good about it, like all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think tonight for me, I noticed a lot of the other players not necessarily getting frustrated, but getting frozen out of the offense. And then they kind of, I don't know, then when they're asked to make a shot or something, they haven't touched the ball in 2 minutes. And that's hard to do, Like,
and then you kind of resent them because like you screwed up, but in your heart of hearts, it's because you're cold because you haven't touched it.
And then maybe you're a little later getting back on defense or not quite as focused because you're thinking in your head that you never see the ball and stuff. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more balanced to make your team like just overall effort and focus better.
So our offense sucks and our defense sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. But like
that sounds like a new coach.
But
a new voice.
Okay, but like
Steve Nash.
Even if that's Steve Nash, if it's 100% true that Vogel's a bad coach, like it's possible, but I don't think it's fair, no matter who the first time coach was this year, to put all your eggs in the Beal, Booker, KD basket and then not give him a chance to ever coach more than 24 minutes with having those 3 guys on the court. I don't think it's fair when you design your whole team around 3 guys to then fire him because he hasn't been able to have his 3 guys on the court together. And that's probably an excuse, but like the whole team, all the schemes, like everything was designed around those 3. And so it's hard when you don't have one of them to blame anyone for like Beal being injured. And you can make the case that Beal's not going to be healthy like he hasn't been. so then you need someone who can adapt and stuff like that. But I do think you need to give coaches a little bit of time to adjust to not having your guys, and then you wait 2 or 3 weeks and he finally comes back and you're like thinking you can start to implement some of the stuff you're going to do, and then he gets hurt right away in the first game he's back. And it's just got to be frustrating for this team and this organization. Like I don't necessarily think you need to panic about it yet, though.
Yep, I don't. So basically, what I'm hearing is, and you've been saying what me and Gabe have been saying for the most part, which is you have to give him a chance because this team was built around the big three, and they need to go get a point guard, and that's really kind of the end of everything, right? You got to be. Here's the deal: people don't want to hear that because they are running out of patience because Beal cannot be healthy, and this team just doesn't look good. So
can I borrow a term from Torey? Can I borrow a clip?
Go ahead.
We ain't got no assets. Okay.
Yep.
We literally can't.
Mm-hmm. Well, the frustrating part is, I mean, you guys were on the verge of a championship, probably should have won the championship, and then it's been slowly declining each year since then, right? And so the expectations since then have been championship. So it's just, I get why people are impatient and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I don't know, man. You look at someone like Bismack Biyombo, who's still doing his thing. Like he's provides some good minutes at times for the Grizzlies or whatever. Like I know they're not winning, but that's not necessarily his fault. But like, you go out and sign Drew Eubanks, who I don't think is good.
Oh, and they were horny for Eubanks.
I know, but he's not good enough to be like maybe a third string center energy guy when you're missing one of your bigs, and he can come in and provide some minutes, but he's not a guy that should be your backup big, especially when your first big is Nurk, who you haven't dealt with injuries with Nurk yet, thankfully, knock on wood. But,
thank God, yeah.
There's going to be a point where Nurk misses some games too, and Drew Eubanks is your only other center on the roster over like 6'9", right? Like you don't even really have that much. I mean, Metu is right around that, but he's not.
He's
like
a 4 playing 5.
Yeah. We do have a big backup big man. It's on a 2-way. They just refuse to play him.
Yeah, who's that?
Azubike.
Doka Azubike.
Yeah, but I mean he's
so
not.
They just refuse to play him.
Yeah,
and, I mean, at this rate, like, but in my opinion, at this rate, like, he wouldn't do anything different than what Eubanks is doing, getting rebounds and that's
except
it.
He's at least the size of a real deal center.
Exactly.
Bol 7 feet, but like, yeah, I mean,
but Bol get pushed around.
Yeah, Bol get pushed around though.
Yep.
You're not pushing Azubike around.
Or you're not pushing Biyombo. Like, why didn't you just re-sign Biyombo instead of?
I wish, bro. I would have loved to have Biyombo.
Yeah,
I understand why. I understand why Jock. You don't have Jock anymore because he got a huge contract from the Rockets
for no reason.
But like, I don't know. It's like a few years ago, the Clippers signed Hartenstein for the minimum, and he has a really good year, outplays his contract, and then they stupidly choose John Wall on an MLE over him, and he gets like a decent contract, like $8 million a year or something from the Knicks. But like you needed that kind of guy, like a guy who outperforms his contract, not someone that's like, oh, well, for a minimum, he's kind of okay, like I think James has done a pretty poor job of like identifying that kind of stuff. But you need to find someone. Like, it's possible. I mean, he did find Biyombo, I guess, before, and those guys are out there. You just got to find some way to get one of those kind of guys, both at point guard and center, I think.
We have a $2 super chat, Gabe, from Cruiser.
Ooh, thank you.
The dog cage. Stop saying point guard. We need center pick and roll defense. The thing is I feel like
I think we need both. Right?
You need both, but I feel like we actually. I hate to keep saying this, but I just feel like what we saw from Udoka. I know he's on a two-way, but what we saw from him in the preseason, the athleticism that he displayed, he couldn't do any worse than Drew Eubanks. I just feel that way.
And he's
but
proper
the coaching
size.
staff obviously doesn't feel that way. I also Bobo, we're not even going to talk about that. We're not even going to call him out because he just wants to play wing and guard, not really be an anchor. But I feel like we have that guy, the backup. They just refuse to play him. But we really do need a point guard, in my opinion. That's just how I feel.
Well,
the fact that we have no ball handler and, like Eric said and Torey said, no one to really calm it down and run the offense. All we're getting is Booker and Kevin Durant holding the ball for 15 seconds, mostly Booker, and then he's throwing a grenade to Durant, and he's got to shoot up a shot for no reason. That's really what you're getting a lot of times.
I don't see a way for them to do it. Go ahead.
Getting a point guard, I don't know. Neither.
There's been points in the past when the Blazers play the Suns and are just watching Suns games as an observer, and Booker, I've wanted Shaedon Sharpe to play like this because seems like when they do this, he's really good. But the Blazers just had a terrible time trying to guard Booker off curl screens around the free throw line, and Booker coming off those screens and getting just a little bit of space, rising up and shooting right when he catches the ball. It's money. He's not having to waste a ton of energy creating or beating someone off the dribble to that spot. He's catching the ball and shooting after just moving it from the post to the free throw line. That's all the movement he has to do, gets a screen or whatever. Now he's got to dribble the ball like 10 times, work around a guy and maybe a second guy paying him attention because he's the ball handler and all that kind of stuff. And then he's on the run and it's a tougher shot on the move that versus like catching the ball and just taking a dribble or shooting right off the catch. And so I think they need to find a way to have someone to set him up a little more instead of having him be the full-time point guard. And until that happens, but I don't think that's the way you say you don't think it can happen this year because you don't have the assets. But I don't think that kind of guy is really tough to find. And I don't think like an energy big, just one more is hard to find either. I think you have the right like team makeup overall outside of those two things. I think you just need to find a way to get those last two little pieces. It doesn't have to be so like I talked about with like a TJ McConnell type. Like it's just a guy who you just have to match his salary and maybe give up a couple seconds for. And I think that kind of guy is just like scrappy.
Man, I feel like we would have made that deal already if we.
Yeah. Well, how about this? If the Bulls blow it up, try to get like Pat Bev or something, just like
Gabe refuses to get.
He's
Pat
with
Bev.
the Sixers, and it's working with the Sixers.
Yeah, sorry,
it's working with the Sixers.
Yeah.
We got a dono.
Right, okay. We got another dono from Cruiser. He says we got point guard Theo. Well, to that same point, Theo's on a two-way. We could see him play, but this team refuses to play two ways for whatever reason. But in that same vein, we have Udoka Azubuike, who's a big guy, I believe, could bring that energy. So, like,
time to play the two ways.
Time to start playing the two ways. Maybe see what they got. But we just refuse to play those guys, dude.
You know who you should get? Not joking. Andre Drummond.
Oh, dude, definitely
we talked about this already. We
definitely
talked about this already. Yeah, we definitely would like to see him.
Caruso, Basshead, Caruso's out of our price range.
Yeah, you're not getting Caruso. I mean, he'd be perfect, but
he would be perfect for a lot of teams. So we're getting a lot of Kai Jones talk. You scout a lot of players. Did you scout Kai? Because to be honest, I didn't do much of any scouting on Kai, and I don't.
Kai's an interesting player.
Let's say he didn't have CTE.
Right. Then I think he'd be fine. He's one of those guys who's like super athletic. He's a little undersized for the 5, but I mean, his athleticism is off the charts. I think he could, if he didn't have the mental issues, I think he could help a team. I don't know if it's, I guess it's not hurting anything to take a chance if you have the open roster spot. But, I don't know about a team like in the Suns situation that seems a little fragile at the moment. Bringing in someone like that doesn't seem like the right the right move. But I mean, someone should take a chance on him.
Well, might as well be us.
Mm-hmm.
Sundo got a $2 dono.
Oh, I read it, and we're gonna go ahead and ignore that.
We ain't ignoring it. Diego, $2 says, I stood on business. I stood on business, and Lil Sundo couldn't handle it. Some beef going down between Diego and Sundo.
He can keep it. Hey, keep it up, Diego. Keep it up.
You have any comments on it?
None.
What's up, Eric?
I have the perfect solution.
Okay.
What?
Because I just remembered that the Bulls have this player.
Ayo?
It's your boy. Well, Ayo would be fine too. I think he would provide what I was talking about as well. But it's your boy. They have your boy, Gabe.
Oh, Javon, I know. Do you think we
Javon
could get
and Andre
him?
Drummond.
Do you think
Javon
we could
and
get
Andre
him?
Drummond, like for Nasir in some seconds or something, like, or just I don't know who you're throwing back, but yeah,
I'd throw it back for sure.
Nasir,
Pause.
Nasir Little, all the seconds you have or whatever, and get Javon and Andre Drummond. I think that solves a lot of your problems.
What do you think we got to give up?
Just some seconds and like Nas or whoever matches contracts. I don't think it'd be that hard.
I would
if they
hate
blow
to
it up.
say goodbye to Nas, but a point guard, and he's such a good 3-point shooter, and he's such a good defensive player and energy and locker room. It's all there. Thank you, Michael Potter, with a $5 dono. We're getting big money here, baby.
All right, I gotta go, guys.
All right, man. I hear the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
It's been fun. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Ooh, double Sundo. Do I dare try to go to the other scene? I'm gonna risk it. If this shuts off the stream, it was just meant to be. Uh-oh. Are we okay? Are we okay? We're here. We're live. I'm gonna try one more. This could be riskier. Okay, we lost.
Don't do it.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Ooh. Sorry.
I gotta get the stream up.
$5 dono from Michael Potter said, having Booker play point guard is like having Tom Brady hand the ball off down by 6 with a minute left in their game. Suns can pick up a decent point guard in a month. I can't argue with that. In an ideal world, you would have somebody to set Booker up, not Booker trying to set everyone up. And it would probably look a lot less like Westbrook. Westbrook. What do you think? Obviously, we all want a point guard at this point. Not breaking your gate.
I said at this point, I'm taking this one day at a time, bro. I just don't. It's whatever.
This was a historic loss, Sundo.
It was an historic loss, but man, we've had a bunch of historic losses this season already. I'm just over it. Fix it or not. Like that's
Start
really what it comes
crying.
down to. But right now, what it comes down to is this team is not. There's not a lot of urgency on this team. Like there's really not. Whether it's on the GM part, whether it's the coaching part, I'm tired of hearing Frank be like, "Oh, we just got to figure it out," And I know Frank's got to do that because he's the veteran coach and that's how he is. But at some point, something's got to change. You can't just keep saying that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like eventually, you got to get together. Now, to Eric's point, this team is built around the big three, and the fact that we don't
That's
have
your
it
hope,
is starting to
Caesar.
affect it. But like,
This is your hope. Listen to Sundo.
what?
He's just saying, give me hope, Gabe. The hope is we haven't had the big three together.
This really is. Your only hope is that right there. You got to see 24 minutes of what the big three looks like. And in that game that we played with the big three, they looked, for that small amount of time, they looked really, really good. And you got to see what it can look like. So the thing is we just, here's the reality, folks, and nobody wants to hear this, and I don't even want to say this myself. The reality is, you got to be patient and wait for the big three, and it's going to suck, and you're going to have to suck it up.
And we might continue to hover around 500
So
until.
So everybody in the chat who wants to complain, oh my gosh, this team's terrible, blah 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 blah. What are you going to do about it? You can keep crying, but nothing's going to change. That's really what it comes down to.
Man,
what you going to do about it?
Stand on business, he says.
It really is. Like you can say fire Vogel, you can say trade KD, but at the end of the day, like what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. We don't have assets. We don't have this and that. We might be able to make a few. We might be able to sign a John Wall or make a small trade here and there. But at the end of the day, none of that's really going to change. It really is. And I mean, that's just where I'm at. Deal with it. Stick at 500 until we can go on around and get the big three back. We'll get the big three back in January sometime, and we'll see what happens. We got to pray and see if Bradley Beal stays healthy. At the end of the day, this is the bed that Matt Ishbia made for us. We got to deal with it. Complain to him. Stop complaining in the chat. Simple as that.
Strong words from a strong man.
It just is what it is. This is where you're at. This is the hand that's been dealt as a fan, and
okay,
that's it.
Okay, or what if Devin Booker played like Devin Booker and I think I'm not mad at him. He can have off games, but once he goes back to being the Devin Booker that came back from injury and led us to a 7-game win streak, we don't have that book right now for some reason. Is it the ankle turn?
It could be the ankle turn. It could be that dudes is tired. I mean, him and Kevin Durant have been playing 40 minutes a game for the past however long, putting up 30, 40 points a game. You know what I mean? Dudes can be tired. You know what I'm saying? Dudes can have that. So once again, it's just like you're gonna have to wait for Bradley Beal to come back and see what that looks like. And you're just going to have to deal with it. This is what we have. Complain all you want. Nothing's going to change. And I'm tired of sitting here and being like, oh, we're going to get a point guard. No, it's just not going to happen. Just deal with it. That's my hope. To whoever said, oh, give me some hope. I don't have hope for you. My message to you is deal with it. That's my message.
So you don't think we're getting a point guard?
I think we could get a point guard, but it's not going to be anything that's out of this world. And we may have already gotten the point guard with Theo. Maybe we'll get to see him, maybe not. I really don't like the fact that they don't play these two ways. That's my really complaint right now is that you don't play two ways. You don't play Udoka, you don't play Theo. And I mean, we don't want to see Saben Lee, but you don't play Saben Lee either. But at the end of the day, deal with it.
Why have Saben Lee on the team when you know you're not going to turn to him for any sort of fix?
Yep, but either way, you just got to deal with it. Sorry, can't help y'all. I'm tired of seeing it in the chat. Just being real. Like this is what you got to deal with until something changes and somebody decides to make a decision. I'm pretty sure at some point there will be a decision made sometime around February, but until then, you just got to deal with it. Sorry.
We got another $5 dono from your boy Michael Potter. Says Sundo. He probably didn't say it with that inflection.
I'm sure they did.
Everyone knew before the season started the point guard was the biggest question. Keep Beal and spend some money on a point guard in a month.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I just don't know what they're going to do at PG. I hope that eventually they start playing these two ways that we got. I really do. I want to see this Theo guy. I want to see what he's like, and I want to see what Udoka looks like. So I hope we get there eventually. I don't know if we're going to or not.
Ooh. Michael Potter is cooking you. Oh, my God. He's like Canelo in his prime.
I'm sure he is.
Says Sundo. And I think this time he meant that inflection. Weren't you the guy that made the vid of the owner of the Suns making fast decisions?
Okay, yes, I did make that. But what do you consider a fast decision, Michael Potter?
Michael Potter, listen to that inflection.
What are you considering a fast decision? That's my question to you. That's really my question. What is a fast decision? Like, define that one. Like, firing a coach in December, that's a pretty crazy decision. Like, that could be a fast one. But to me, a fast decision is making a major decision by February. If he doesn't, then hey, that's on him. But that's my question. What is your definition?
Burners earlier said, "Remind me to never have Sundo cheer me up," and then says, "Me, Nick, my parents got into a car accident. I don't think they're gonna make it. Sundo, deal with it."
Okay, all right, hold on.
That's the Sundo we're getting.
Right, hold on, time out. Michael Parr says, no, don't fire coach. Okay, that's my point. So then you have time until February to make a deal. You can't just really make a deal if there aren't deals out there. And we already know that the biggest rumor is where they want to get our boy from Indiana. That's the biggest rumor that's been out there for forever.
Worst kept secret.
Diego, go fuck yourself.
Diego with the $2 dono says, "I love his nickname for you."
I know.
I love Diego's new nickname for you. Lil Sundo is 0-2 on standing on business.
No. Suns don't make the playoffs. They just need a point guard and not be cheap. I mean, I agree with you, but like I said, the only rumor that keeps coming out is that TJ McConnell, and like Jim and I just said, Pacers aren't giving up TJ. So there's really not much they can do.
Well, they would give him up, but what I've heard is that he doesn't even want to leave. He doesn't even want to go from the Pacers to the Suns. And now that they're winning, that's probably even magnified. Like, no, we're winning. It's cool. I don't mind playing the white guy. You know?
So, like I said in the beginning, like I feel like the only way that was going to happen is if he traded Nasir, because the salaries were really close to TJ McConnell.
And Nas is worth something, which could be why he's starting.
Right.
He's making himself into a trade asset.
I do feel like that's literally the only asset that you have right now is Nas. So we'll see what happens there. Sorry.
Michael says, yeah, but whatever team isn't making the playoffs will give something up.
Yeah, eventually they will. And that's what I'm saying. You got to wait till February. Like that's when the decision will happen is in February. But until then, people just got to deal with it and suck it up. I don't think there's any moves to be made yet.
Gemini, I agree. I think Utah should still have some trade value. It's like, do you want a shooter or not?
Yeah, that is bad.
We can't figure out how to put him to work, but maybe you can.
I mean, Utah's a possible target. Nas has to be one, right? Just because of the age and the prospect there.
KBD.
Phyllis says Allen's an asset. KBD maybe. Allen is one that hurts. I don't want to get rid of Grace now.
No,
that's just my opinion. But
he's a piece. He's a piece. I mean, maybe
General Frey says Sundo. We don't need Beal to be Portland. Oh, I agree. The team completely imploded today. Like, there's no excuse for today. They just played bad. They had that third quarter collapse, the patented third quarter collapse, like we always have. Showed up, reared its ugly head.
Emiliano was asking about Terry Rozier from the Hornets. I
do like Terry Rozier.
We both love him. I've been after him, but we don't. What it would cost? I just
real quick. So, Torey said something earlier about the third quarter collapse, and we keep talking about this. What do you think the cause of these third quarter collapses are? Like, why did they keep happening? Do you think it's lack of adjustments? Do you think it's team just comes out flat? Like, what do you think it is?
So my instincts, which could very well be wrong, they tell me that it's the Suns players coming out thinking that they are the shit, and they lose focus, and they must deep down in a Freudian way, deep in their subconscious, they think that the other team has given up because we're the Phoenix Suns and we're cooking y'all. That's the vibe they give me. Is like, oh, they ain't gonna play hard. Hey, let's go have some fun. No! Play defense.
Well, then to your point, because that's you say that, and I mean, I kind of agree with that. But to your point,
what do you think it is?
And doesn't well, I'm kind of with you on that because it goes to what me and Code have been saying, and I wish Code was in the chat that this team goes as Booker and KD goes, and maybe sometimes Booker and KD are a little too lax and a little too cocky, especially Booker, especially recently, where he's had this sort of lackadaisical, I'm Booker, I'm going to drop 30 no matter what attitude. And that just seems to be how the team acts in a way. They sort of take that on. Also, there's a lot of standing around while Booker and KD have the ball, and I don't like it. But what are they going to do? Because it's just there's nothing else they can do but sit in the corner and wait for a pass. But I do think it comes down to culture with the players. That's just me.
I think
I agree with you on that.
The Suns picked a ugly game. They picked a weak opponent to be having a terrible shooting night. I mean, we shot
terrible 3-point shooting night.
Terrible, bro. 21%.
Terrible 3-point shooting night. Not shooting night, period. Just a terrible 3-point shooting night. And that was literally the difference.
And missed a bunch of free throws. Missed 6 free throws.
Yeah, we missed enough free throws, but even then, the fact that we were 5 of 23, and I can't even see on the screen because I don't have the stats up, but I know they shot like 50% or 40% from three. That was literally the difference.
Jason L says, Gabe and Sundo, why do you say a guy like Jordan Goodwin that much when he does nothing on the court?
Come on, Gabe, stick with it. Stick with it, Gabe.
My phone's far away and I'm getting old and weary.
Gabe and Sundo, why do you guys like Jordan Goodwin that much when he does nothing on the court, is what he was saying. I wouldn't say nothing. Today was one of those games where, I'll be honest with you, Jason. Today was one of those games where I looked at Goodwin and I said, hey, bro, you look bad. Like, honestly. But there's been more times than not where Goodwin has played great defense or got an offensive rebound or got a hustle steal and like done things like that have helped the team and also hit a few buckets. I like the way he plays. I like his style. I like the length the position that they have him play out, which is the guard. He's 6'4", so he's got a little bit of length there. It's just sometimes you'll have a game like tonight where he just throws up these awful looking floaters like he did. These awful looking shots.
I mean, they didn't even look athletic, bro. They didn't even look like a basketball player doing it.
But more times than not, he's actually solid and gets you a good 2 or 3 buckets off the bench and plays good defense and gets you some solid rebounds. But Gemini says, but yes, Goodwin can be traded. Anybody can be traded at this point, bro. Anybody can be traded. Jason L says, but he can't shoot. I mean, let me ask you this, Jason L. Like, who on his team is shooting well?
Right.
Other than Booker and Durant, because it's really been not good. Even Gordon's been shooting bad. See here, Risky Ali. Sundo, do you agree that Book should play at his natural position? I think he has done just fine at the 1, but we need to sign a PG and move Beal to the bench, sign someone like John Wall to create shots. Everybody keeps talking about John Wall, and I think that's just because that's just a name that everybody likes. And sometimes I get tempted into wanting John Wall, right? But I do agree that point Book is not what I like seeing. I like Booker better off ball coming around screens and taking shots, right? I like Booker off ball action taking shots, right? He's deadly there. So yeah, to your sense, I do like that. I don't like ISO gang Book as much. And like, I feel like we're getting that too much because someone has to do it, right? Like we're getting a lot of more ISO Book and driving Book. And I think because he was really, there was times where Booker would take over games last year in that way. And we were like, oh my gosh, Book is a killer. He's so great. We also forgot the fact that last year he had CP3 and other players that would be willing to pass in the ball, with more off-ball action off his bucket. So when he took over in those isolation situations, that wasn't the norm. That was the exception, right? Now the ISO is the norm, and we're starting to see, how he can sort of, I'm not going to say fold, but how maybe that's not exactly his strong suit as much as the off-ball action was last year, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying, Gabe?
Yeah.
So, I would like to see him do more off ball, and that's just me. But once again, it's like, who's going to do it?
They're gonna have to play Megalodon, however you say it. They're gonna have to play him because we already know what Saben Lee is, and I think I figured it out. Saben Lee at this point is strictly, if Goodwin, God forbid, got hurt and you had to have another body at the position, you'd throw Saben Lee out there to do his thing. Maladon, on the other hand, maybe this is the stop that he figures it out at.
Here's
you got to find out.
Looked at Maladon, I've looked him up. He's really good at Theo Magadon is what they're saying. Get out of here. Get out of here, burner.
He ain't gonna like that.
Y'all are hilarious. From what I've seen from Maladon is he can be he's a good ball. He's a decent, I'm not gonna say great ball handler. He's a good ball handler, decent ball handler. He can find the guy he needs to find. He was supposed to be a great shooter coming out, but if you look at his statistically wise, he is not a great shooter, and that can be a concern. But I mean, at this point, what do you have to lose? Play the guy, right?
Yeah,
Play them. What do you have to lose with playing anybody else on this roster as well? That's just my opinion. Like we got to see Metu play when you decided to just play him, and he came through, right?
Yeah.
So that's just my thinking is play these dudes and see what you have. You might as well at this point. It's not going to hurt anything. You're doing enough experimenting with everybody else. Why not throw the two-way players in there and see what they got?
Would you put Keita Bates-Diop back out there and give him another whirl? Take a quick looky-loo at him?
I would.
I almost feel like you have to, because he's kind of good at defense.
Here is what I need to look up, and I wish I could look up the stats for this. I would like to see what the starting lineup was while we went on that 7-game winning streak for the majority of it.
Oh yeah, that's it. You could definitely look that up.
And I want to say Keita Bates-Diop was part of that streak. I'm pretty sure he started a lot of those games. And I'm looking right now. He started the Knicks game. Let me look here. He started the Grizzlies game. What are you laughing at?
Oh.
He was cooking while I'm looking at these stats.
Il Ligure Pazzo Sfgravato says, I just joined. We won, right? Yes, we did. We blew them out, blew their backs out. They were begging for mercy.
That's hilarious, bro.
Okay. Yes, we did. He said, thank God. Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine, Il Pazzo? Could you imagine if we lost to the Blazers? Come on. We would never do that. Frank's a good coach, Pazzo. Goodwin's a good backup point guard. We don't need one. Drew Eubanks is a terrific backup center. We lose nothing when he goes in the game.
All right,
Booker, He's so efficient lately.
So in recap,
Gordon's not too thick for basketball. Who's saying he is?
So in recap, Gabe.
Yes.
Deal with it. This team is built for the big three. We don't have the big three. Deal with it. I feel like there will be a move in February, but we gotta be patient until then. Deal with it. And I know patience isn't everybody's strong suit right now, including myself, because this is torture going through all these L's. But that's just a fact of the matter. That's where we are. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
We're down bad. And would you say this is the down baddest we've been all season? Because I think it is.
Yeah, yes, yeah. But we're down bad. But why? Why are we down bad? Because there was a high expectations for this team to be world beaters, and it just hasn't happened. Especially whenever we got that 7-game win streak, we were like, okay, we got the 7-game win streak. We're over 500 after that awful start. There's no way we're gonna look bad again. We're finally gonna get Beal. No, we're not. Beal's gonna hurt his ankle again. You know what I mean? Like, there was just hope during that streak, and it didn't turn out to be that way. Sorry. So the next game was Thursday, Gabe, or Friday?
I don't even know.
The 22nd.
Okay, so that's gonna be Friday, right?
So Friday the 22nd is the next game. 9 p.m. against the Kings.
Friday. Oh, we're getting our cheeks clapped
in Sacramento. We'll have
they will be lighting the beam right directly through our ass crack. Okay? That's what's going to happen on Friday night. Anybody want to come hang out?
Lighting the beam.
It's going to be bad, bro. Something has to happen. Something substantial has to happen. And I do think something will happen because we have the money and we have the desire. Oh, sorry, we don't have the money. We have an owner who's very active, and we have the clear-cut need for something to happen. So, like, how could he sit on his hands and do nothing?
I think he's trying to work something out, bro. I really do. I just think there's been so much movement, and we have put so much strain on and so much faith in the big three, and we don't have the assets. I looked it up. We only have 4 second-round picks.
See, I'm not worried about that because all we have to do is put Kevin Durant on the market, and we could get all the first round. I'm just saying, if we ever worry about picks and we're ever like, oh, we need to do a reset.
Oh, now you sound like somebody
Kevin Durant
who made a video about that long ago.
Is your reset. Yeah, but I wasn't agreeing with you back then. Okay,
but it's almost like somebody made a video about if this goes bad, this is what's going to happen, and people were like, "Oh, you're an idiot."
Oh man.
Regardless, everybody stop freaking out. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Just stop. You just gotta ride the wave, and it's not a good wave right now, but you gotta wait. There'll be a better wave. Why am I making a surfing reference and I'm not a surfer?
We're down bad. I think there's no shame in admit. First step towards fixing something is admitting you have a problem.
I'm pretty sure there has been plenty of conversations between Ishbia and James Jones about, hey, what can we do? And I'm sure they're probably thinking of something. There's just nothing's coming up because they've already put their eggs in this basket. And I think they'll figure out some small moves to make, but it won't be anything major. And you got to wait till Beal comes back, just like Eric said. I think
that's where I was
what
going
it is.
With it.
That's just what it is. What it is.
Like,
Gemini says, "I dare you to hit that reset button." So here's the deal, man. If we,
I don't want to hit the reset. I'm just saying if we
right
need, if we had to,
listen to me right
we
now.
could.
I'm making a bold prediction.
Oh shit!
And this is such a bold prediction. Let me tell you.
Oh,
If we have a first round exit, they're blowing this thing up. Like if that does happen and we get a first round exit, something's happening. Someone's getting traded and this thing's getting blown up.
You don't think they'll be like, but
nope.
But we never got B.
Well, Gemini P, to your point, that'd be even worse.
Oh shit.
If they don't make the playoffs, and yeah, it's for sure getting blown up. There will be they will be trading KD. And get whatever and do what they did with what the Wizards did with Beal and just
Grimy said, "Hey yo, KD already talking to teams. Trust me."
Oh, I feel you. He could be. I've seen some looks
up.
on his face. It's very possible.
That's
at this
fucked
point.
up.
It's very possible at this point.
Mm.
But we just gotta wait and see what happens.
Don't worry, guys.
We have January to see Beal again.
Friday night,
see what happens
guys.
after that.
We get to get cut Friday night by another Suns player that should have been De'Aaron Fox instead of Josh Jackson.
Or Halliburton instead of Sticks.
Iverson, salute.
All right, let's get out of here, bro.
All right, so I was thinking you could say, your Suns lose, Suns lose. But then you, at the end of it, you could say, deal with it. Your new catchphrase, and we might need a new
That's a new emoji. That's a new emoji. Deal
with it. We suck.
With it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. You're not getting Sundo claws for Christmas. Deal with it. All right. Suns lose. Suns lose. Deal with it.